Hey guys, Sean's in the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. I'm, doing these valuable, teachable moments. I want to make sure I bring on guests that are going to give you something to, learn from. And I see in the last number of weeks, I know a lot of changes in the real estate world, and I'm having conversations if no one's really getting to the bottom of it. So I wanted to bring on a great friend of mine. Before I do, I'll remind you, drop a hashtag live. If you're on the live, hashtag replay on the replay. If you are throughout, have questions, drop those comments in the chat. We would love to answer those and have everyone feeling better about a certain topic I'll share in a moment. And I want to make sure that you sit back, you like, you subscribe, you comment every once in a while, drop your favorite emoji, and share this to all your other agents other mortgage professionals, other ones thinking about buying real estate. Because you're going to hear from Dave Fanale. We're going to talk about the buyer agreement. Dave, thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, man. I'm excited about this process and everything that's happened over the past year. So what can
There's
I tell you?
There's a lot of changes, a lot of people I'm finding. Go ahead.
Yeah, there are a lot of changes. But here's what I want everybody to know. It's very simple, okay? What we do, how we do it, real estate agents, that is, real estate professionals, brokers, etc., has not changed. What has changed is how we get paid, or shall I say, how we communicate and how the money comes in for broker, buyer representatives, seller representatives, listing agent, buyer agents, how we all get paid. That's what's changed. How we have to communicate it and how we have to be clear. There hasn't been a clear process in years because over the years, we were mistaught by brokers, by managers, by leaders, only because they were mistaught that, hey, come and say that the buyer doesn't pay anything, it's free. That's bullshit. Never, always was bullshit, but no one gave it out. And that's why the NIR was sued.
And it's a simple process. Like when I bought my home, thinking about, and guys, I'm in the insurance world. So everyone's like, jump on my back. Why are we talking about this? Because those agents out there, I'm in the insurance world, but I don't care about that. I want to help people grow their business. So right. I know people. I want to educate people. And that's why I bring on people that I want to, help and give that value. And when I bought my first home, it was, I don't know, it might have been 5% on the listing agreement. I know that things change. You can't put that in the MLS, but like half of it went to the buyer broker, half went to the seller broker. But no one really went to detail. And there was another fee too. There was like a $100-something fee that was on there as well that no one knew, but they just did it that way. And I think that's going to make agents today have to be on their game so they can explain more. Why would you not want to explain and educate? That's what you should be doing anyway, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. You know how you have a listing agent. Now, a listing agent, some way, somehow, he gets the appointment to go in and make a listing presentation. I mean, everybody has should have a listing presentation. They should have it memorized, and they should be sending value out prior to that conversation, prior to that listing appointment. So they list a seller, which means they get them to sign a document that says for so many months or so much time, I am your exclusive agent. Now, exclusive right to sell, right? So that I'm your exclusive agent. You work with me. If you sell the home to somebody else, you pay me, right? This is what's happening with buyer agents. We are actually listing buyers. So we listed sellers before, we're listing buyers. The buyer agreement has been around for years. Prior to August 17th, August 1 in New Jersey, 18 states were buyer agreement states where you had to have a buyer agreement with your buyer. What is the buyer agreement for? Well, let's go back for a minute, right? When all this started, everybody was saying, oh, these changes are going to suck. There's going to be this. Now, what we need to do, and everybody was saying, there was a phrase that everyone used to buyer agents, and what they had to do now is they had to bring value. They had to show their value to that buyer in order to appeal to them. It's the same thing as listing a buyer. As I said, with a listing presentation, you'll have a buyer presentation. What's your value? Now, a lot of agents will think that, okay, how many beds do you want? How many baths do you want? Where do you want to be? No, that's freaking data intake.
Order taker. Yeah.
That's an order taker. See, the days of being a doorman and getting paid tens of thousands of dollars are over, right? If you walk into a house without a buyer agreement signed, you're not getting paid, right? The days of being a doorman, opening a door, I'm saying it again for effect, you're not getting paid because most agents, buyer agents, were doormen. I mean, they didn't even get a pre-approval until they had to, right? They probably didn't know if they were qualified to buy the house. Typically, you know what? You give them one shot and then you go through the process and you do your buyer presentation. Now it's a little different. So just for really quickly, how do you bring value? Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to discover what's important to that buyer. It's called the discovery process. You ask discovery questions. Self-discovery, they discover, right? Second thing is what most agents don't do and never did was they explain what the timing process really is, a timing analysis of buying a home. After you have them self-discover and you discover what they want, now you can basically you can explain to them what's important in that discovery that you found in their timing analysis when they want to get there. Then you're going to qualify them, right? You qualify them as to their desire, their motivation, and of course, you want to set expectations. You want to know what their expectations of you, and you want to set your expectations. There's a lot of agents out there that just tell anybody, I'm available 24 hours a day. Mr. Agent, Mr. Buyer Agent, Mr. Selling Agent. If you say that, you're an idiot, right? Now, you know me to be a very blunt person, and that's what I'm being on this broadcast right now. Please do not tell people you're available 24 hours a day. You're setting yourself up for failure, right? Because the moment you're not available, you're in deep shit. Now, just do this. Hi, I just want to let you know how I work. I'm available 8 to 8, Monday to Thursdays. On Fridays, I'm available 8 to 5. On the weekends, if you need to talk, text me. We'll get a time together to talk. But honestly, I'm never available Saturday or Sunday mornings. That's my family time. That's setting an expectation, plain and simple. Then after you do all that, you're going to evaluate their buying power. Like, what are they qualified for? How much house can they buy, right? So you have to understand that. But here's the other thing that we don't understand and most people don't get. A lot of buyers are going to have a number that they don't want to go above or above, right? So they're going to say, well, I will spend this much and my monthly payment is this. Yes, I can afford more, but I don't want to go above this number, right? Very important. After that, you're going to discuss the showing process, the buying process. Now, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to the showing process, how a showing works. Look, guys, if you want to go into a house and be Vanna White, that's fine. This is the kitchen. This is the bathroom. Please don't do that. Anyway, that's a pet peeve of mine, right? Then what's the buying process? What do they have to go through? In the state of New Jersey, we make an offer. What does your offer say? Is there a cover page to the offer? Do you explain the offer or do you let them have to figure it out? Are you talking to the agent? Like, for instance, okay, so now we're talking about the buying process. We're going to get back to that in a second. Then you're going to say what your compensation is. Mr. Buyer, for everything that I just explained to you, all this, my fee is X percent. My fee is X. It has to be a specific percentage or a specific number. Okay. One of the other rules that we have to understand is that you cannot get more than your agreement states. If you say that you're going to get 2% and the seller is giving out 2.5%, you're only getting 2%.
It's whatever you put in the contract, right? Whatever it is, it is.
That's the most you can get. You can take less. Now, there's a caveat to that, which nobody else understands and not being explained by brokers and team leaders. You can always renegotiate your contract with your buyer, but you need to do it prior to walking into that house. What does that mean? A good buyer's agent is not just going to go in the state of New Jersey, you're going to go into showing time and set up a time to show it. I don't care what the showing instructions are. You need to talk to that listing agent before you show that house. You can ask, will there be buyer agent compensation? What is set up for that? You're going to get the details. There's two things for you. Number one, if they're going to pay you what you want to get paid, no problem, goes in the contract. Number two, if it's a different number, guess what? This is where your prowess of a professional comes in your negotiating style and strategy. You have to know how to word an offer where you can manage to get paid the amount you want. Now, when you have the buyer agreement and you have this entire process set up, in that buyer agreement, you have the amount you're going to get paid. Now, what happens, as we just said, you got 2.5 and they're going to give out 2. Okay. Are you going to ask the buyer to pay that half? You're in a position where they've already agreed to it. They've signed it. Some of them may not listen very well. They're just going to sign something because they want to get going, right? You have to be able to figure out how you strategize to negotiate that into the contract. Okay. Negotiate into your offer, excuse me. Everything's a negotiation strategy. Now you've got to have some more business acumen. As I said, being a doorman ain't getting you paid. Okay. This all goes through with the buying process and your compensation. There are so many different ways to do this, and it's all a matter of practice, of talking and discussions, being in masterminds. My company, my team has been involved in masterminds for months. We do every 2 weeks, we do a public presentation about the aftermath of the NART agreement, the aftermath of August 17th, and we're prepared for it. We understand how to negotiate it. One thing about what we do and what I do is we believe in collaboration over competition, and we're more apt to help anybody and everybody. There's not one problem we can't solve and one question we can't answer. It may not be ourselves. We may have to get it from our cooperative, but we do that. So the important part of what I want to tell you is you need to be strategic in your presentation to the buyer. You need to be strategic in your negotiation strategy, and you need to understand how to be able to negotiate, to get compensated and get paid.
Why the hell can't we get people to do this? Now, how does Dave Fanale get this information? He's asking questions. He's diving deeper. You're explaining how you have to be a buyer's agent. You contact a listing agent. I hope to God they answer their freaking phone. Don't just text. Don't just email.
Thank you for saying that. If you
go
guys,
back to calling.
Look, here's the thing, guys. When I had my brokerage, and it'll be 7 years since I sold it. When I had my brokerage, agents would come to me and say, Dave, I can't get in touch with this guy. What should I do? I say, did you call him? Yeah, I texted him a little while ago. Did you call him? I emailed him yesterday. Look, I got to tell you something. See this thing? It's also a phone. Okay? It's not that heavy. Believe me, it's not that heavy. Use the freaking thing. Call people, voice to voice. When you want to prospect, if you're texting people to prospect, unless you've been in contact with them and all over social, all over email, with everything, if you're not calling, again, sorry, you're wrong. You need to call. Call people, talk to people. It is the best way to get there. Even, hey, look, you know what? You got 5 minutes. Let's go on a Zoom so we can talk.
You could do that more than ever. Pick up the phone, have a video call, have a FaceTime, Zoom calls, StreamYard, whatever. Because the whole game, guys, it's building relationships.
Right.
Again, I'm in insurance. Why the hell am I involved with real estate agents and helping them? Because if I can help them, they're going to help me. Start thinking, change your mindset. You'll see how it changes your whole business, your life, etc. And having this kind of knowledge, guys, if you're tuning in now, you're going to have to wait until this uploads and get from the beginning, take some notes. I jot some things down for those that have difficulty hearing things, that you see it, but actually share this stuff, because I want more people to understand how to make this happen, because it's not difficult business. People are making it difficult.
No, the whole thing really is that the leadership in this business isn't as great as it should be. I'm very lucky that I work with a team that has a gentleman by the name of Leo Perea, who is our CEO of eXp Realty. And actually, I do a broadcast every Friday. A shameless plug. This week,
Yes.
we have Andy Griesinger from North Carolina, content creator and top agent. And next week, we have the CEO of eXp, Leo Perea, on next Friday. It's 11 o'clock, August 30th, 11 a.m. EST, and it's going to be on my personal Facebook page. But we have these people that are out front. Leo has been on every channel, every network talking about this, along with people that a gentleman is very controversial, but a great guy, Anthony Lamacchia from Massachusetts, right? And fortunately in North Jersey, we've got great people here. We're really fortunate. We have Charlie Oppler, who is the former NAR president. Charlie's in the background, but You know, you can always get a question answered from Charlie. He knows what's going on. We're very lucky in this industry to have these leaders that actually pick up the phone. So call them if you have a question. Call me at the Dave Fanale. You can DM me. That's my Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook. You can find me anywhere. Ask me a question. I'll be glad to do a one-on-one with anybody. And you know what? You can get a lot of information.
Hell yeah. All of Dave's information is in the description of this video. Guys, when you watch videos on YouTube, don't just watch videos. Actually go into the description, click on the content, read the bio, and click the links, and actually make a phone call to Dave. Connect, mention this podcast that you saw him on it, and continue to grow. I appreciate Dave coming in, dropping some massive value. Again, don't be afraid to share this. Take a look at a couple other playlists that I have here. And as always, Dave, thanks so much for joining us and giving that value, man.
Look, man, glad I could help.
Awesome, guys. Have yourself an awesome rest of your day.